Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Destiny 2. Today I want to give you a guide for this week's GM Nightfall, which is Warden of Nothing. This has a lot of champions in, a lot of challenging rooms, and I wanted to just kind of help you out as much as I can. So first and foremost, I did this in a group of 2 and a third person from LFG. You could pretty much do this in LFG without any communication or mic, as long as people are just kind of like understanding of how the mechanics work. Hopefully they'll see this guide and be able to do it. This week's modifiers have rocket launcher surge, so it does 25% more damage, and arc as well. So if you got any kind of arc rocket launcher, it's going to help you chunk damage away on things like champions and the final boss. I barely used mine. I just had a random rocket launcher in my vault. You could use something like the Wardcliff coil, but I really do highly suggest you keep your exotic slots available for the Outbreak Perfected. This gun is just obscene when it comes to Grandmasters because it just does incredible damage. It builds up your super when you're hitting precision shots. It builds up your transcendence pretty quickly. On top of that, it just does a lot of damage, and it can break the barrier champion's shield relatively easy. So you will be able to take out so many things with just this weapon alone. Secondly, take some kind of sidearm. I went with the Indebted Kindness because it's arc as well, so it does slightly more damage. To be honest, I only ever used it to put down a champion into their vulnerable state so I could finish them off. And again, any kind of rocket launcher. Now I am going with the Aeon Souls on my Warlock. I spoke about this last week, but basically continued precision hits mark the enemy so that your teammates and alike can do 20% more damage while shooting at them. This is very good with everybody using the Outbreak Perfected. Just does a lot of damage when you set them up with the debuff. All the champions are in this Nightfall. You want to just set up so that you can take down the Unstoppables and the barrier champions. The overload champions you don't really need to spec into, as long as you have other methods of stopping them, such as stasis turrets or anything that slows them down due to stasis debuffs. And it's fairly easy to control the battlefield that they're in. Some of the rooms that they're in are fairly large, so as long as you have something that can freeze them, stop them, or in any other way, shape or form stun them in terms of abilities, make sure you have something going. I didn't have anything for it, but luckily one of our guys from the LFG that we randomly found that wasn't even communicating with us had stasis, so it kind of worked out. Right, so the first few rooms are pretty easy. You start off, you run through, there's some goblins to kill, there's a big host of pods that pop open with loads of more enemies. Kill them all. Here is also your first overload champion. Take him down as quick as you possibly can. There's 3 of you and there's not many other ads, so you should be able to get rid of it fairly easily. Go through the door, hack the little thing, go past all the trains that are going backwards and forwards. Relatively straightforward. Drop down and go down the next set of tracks, weaving in and out of the oncoming trains, and then you're going to fall down into an area where there's a couple of explodey barrels. Make sure you shoot them before you engage with any fighting, because they can absolutely wreck you if someone else decides to shoot them and you're standing next to them. As you turn here, there is a champion and a Hydra. Pretty much Outbreak Perfected is just going to wipe everything out here. You can shoot through the Hydra shields because it's anti-barrier, and the champion goes down pretty quickly. Kill all the ads, and then we're going down the train line. However, there is a champion barrier right near the start. You want to jump into the center of the 2 train tracks, take out the barrier champion, and then jump up onto the top of the railing and just run down the railing to the bottom, where you'll be met with another group of enemies and another champion, which is very easy to stun and take out as well. These first few rooms, fairly straightforward, fairly easy. The next room that you come to is the mini boss area. After you go through like the vents, or what I call vents, you'll get into a room where there's a couple of hobgoblins and goblins ahead of you. Kill them all. When you get up into the middle where the stairs are, you'll see there's a Hydra straight ahead of you with some ads. To the top right, there's a little door which a barrier champion comes out of, and on the left hand side room there is another barrier champion. One person can take out one of these barrier champions. It's just sometimes you get sniped and some ads might kill you, but the first thing you want to take care of is the Hydra. If you've got 2 other people shooting at the Hydra, one person can peel off and try to shoot one of the other things, like I was doing here. I was shooting the hobgoblin barrier up top. Basically, you want to take out what's in the middle and the right first. You want to ignore everything on the left and just take down the easy targets. The left-hand target is also an easy target, but you can get cross-shot from different angles. So you just want to get rid of the things on the right first, starting with the Hydra, then the champion. Then you take out the champion on the left, kill a whole bunch of ads, and then eventually the boss will spawn. It shouldn't take you too long to actually wipe him out and get rid of him. You know, just pop your supers and stuff, you're going to get them back. Pop your transcendence, you're going to get that back. Just take it out as quick as you possibly can. After that, you're going to get sucked up the pipe and you're going to go into the next area where it's kind of like a runway towards the Prison of Elders main court area. Whole bunch of enemies here. Just stand back, shoot them all with your Outbreak Prime, take them all down. There are 2 champions here. You want to draw them towards the little room that you're standing in at the start, and what basically you just be able to stun them where you can shoot from range, because there are scions here that snipe you and other adds that can kill you. And if the unstoppable champion is too far away, you know, you're going to struggle with trying to get damage and DPS onto them. So let them run forward a little bit, stun them, kill them with Outbreak Perfected. Wipe out everything here. There's a whole bunch of snipers and stuff. Just be careful as you're running through. And then we'll be in the area with the mines. Now this is like the first real challenge of the GM. And basically when you enter the room, there are champions galore. As far as I remember, there's 1 overload, 1 unstoppable, and 3 barrier hobgoblins. That overload one needs to go down as quick as possible, followed by the unstoppable one. And then you take out the barrier hobgoblins and also the Colossus. If that one's an easier shot for you, take out a Colossus, because their little minigun thing absolutely just destroys you. So you want that done as quick as possible. But if you just hide behind the varying things that you can hide behind and just shoot the hobgoblin, you'd be able to kill them. I took out 2 barrier hobgoblins just on my own with my Outbreak Perfected. So as long as you're patient with it, you should be fine. Then the mines spawn. Now the mines, people usually panic and jump on them. You don't really need to jump on them right away. So don't stand on the mine A and go over to the doorway where the champion spawns. Have everyone stack up here and kill that champion as quick as possible. Kill the adds. Turn around and look down towards where the B mine is, and another champion will be coming towards you. Kill that champion and any adds. By the time this is all done, you will get to the mine A with like 20 to 30 seconds left on it. You stand on mine A and get it completed, and then B and C will spawn together. B will now be completely clear. All the adds you've already killed, you got a free reign on B, so 2 people can start going ahead and starting to kill everything on C. There are a couple of champions that spawn here as well, while the person's capturing B, and then everyone can congregate on C and help kill everything and get everything down and complete that. Then the boss spawns at this room. Not too difficult, but you can get overwhelmed with adds, so just throw in your grenades and stuff that you can. Anything that does big splash damage, like the rocket launchers, just to wipe out a whole bunch of adds. But the actual boss himself is a little bit of a pussycat. You can just stand there and just shoot him with the Outbreak Perfected and he will go down. But he can do a lot of damage to you, so just be careful not to get in his way. After you finish this, you're going to head down to the main final boss room. And when you jump down, there are more champions. And again, if I remember rightly, there's 2 barriers, 1 overload, 1 unstoppable. The overload is going to be the one you want to take care of first, because you have less means of stunning him. Then drop the unstoppable. You know, if the unstoppable is coming towards you, you can just keep hitting him with your sidearm and keeping him stunned while you take out the overload. Then take out the unstoppable, and then take out the Colossus barrier on the right, and then the hobgoblin one on the left. Very, very easy, to be fair. People get panicky and scared. That as long as the overload does and unstoppable don't get right on top of you, you're going to be absolutely fine. Then the boss will spawn. Now, if you are on a hunter or have a couple of hunters, if you have 3 hunters, even better. Have 1 person on Night Stalker, 2 people on Celestial Nighthawk Golden Gun. You're going to kill this boss instantly. You debuff with the tether, and then everyone else just pulls out their still hunts and Celestial Nighthawks and nukes the boss straight away. But what if you don't have hunters like we did, and we had 2 Song of Flame Warlocks and a random person, I can't even remember what they were on. It's a little bit more challenging, but it's not impossible. We wasn't set up right at all, and we had a guy on our team who died to the fire that the Warden uses. I died to a random hobgoblin sniping me in the back, and we just relied on our other teammate to res us and go. You can still do quite a decent amount of damage with just the Outbreak Perfected. As long as you hide carefully and don't pop out when he's doing his fire breath, you will be able to take him down with just Outbreak Perfected. It will just take a little bit longer, but you really just want to stack up on damage. So anything that does big super damage, we were using the Song of Flame. It can protect you in that room pretty well, so that's worth looking at as well. The rocket launchers, which I didn't even use that much of, to be fair. Any kind of arc rocket launcher is going to do big damage. But Outbreak Perfected should just be enough. And then when you're done and completed and finished everything, you will get your Shadow Price Adept. I actually pretty much got a God roll with surplus and 1 for all. So, you know, my PvE roll is sorted out. I might try and roll for a PvP one, even though it's not very good in PvP. But I'm very happy with my rolls. So yeah, that's like a fast little guide to the GM this week. As I said, you can do this in LFG without any mics, as long as, you know, people are fairly able. So if you're worried about having to play with other people, it is plausible to complete this in LFG, especially if you have Outbreak Perfected. But that's it. Thank you for watching. I've been Easy Now. You guys have been awesome.